Welcome back to the Modern Real Estate Agents with Johnny and Lizzy Phillips.
Hey guys. I thought I'd say something different this time.
What do you normally say? Welcome back?
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome back?
Nope, it's different this time. Shaking it up.
You can talk about the weather this week again?
It's cold. It's cold in this room.
He's cold. I'm hot, but I'm pregnant.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yep.
Growing babies.
Yeah.
We got our Triceratops here.
I don't know why this is still here. I'm surprised Liam hasn't taken it.
I'm pretty thrilled about it.
Mm-hmm. Gives you something to play with.
It does. Guys, welcome back. We are talking about setting up your daily schedule today.
Jinx. I would say you owe me a soda, but I can't drink soda.
Anything else you want to get into? I mean, I just kind of jumped right in.
I don't really feel like we have a lot of things that happened this week. I mean, one thing that happened is that we hired an official admin.
That's exciting news.
Very exciting.
Yep. If you guys are getting to a point where you are busy all the time, it means it's time to start handing things off to other people. Find an admin.
Yeah. So it's just part-time, but especially with me going out on maternity leave, Johnny needs someone to do his grunt work for him.
I mean, you call it grunt work. I call it other parts of real estate,
Yeah. And it's not going to be me for now.
That's true. Yep. So excited about her. I hope she just digs in there and creates the systems that we need.
Yep.
Speaking of systems, that's the class I'm going to be teaching today.
You're teaching on systems.
I know.
Did you know that?
I think, I don't know. The moderator picked it.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a panel I'm going to be on. There'll be lots of people joining in.
This is very timely then that we're recording this podcast.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great.
You can share about it and say, I talked about a system today.
I did.
In my podcast, plug that shit.
Plug it. So yeah, today's system that we're going to be talking about is setting up your schedule. It's the most important thing you're going to do. And in here in my notes, I just highlighted the word discipline. All right. That's the most important part of this. And we'll come back to this at the end, but it doesn't matter how you set this up as long as you stick with it.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing at the end of the day, is not being flippant from day to day and doing different things. And,
well, I think we talk about that a lot, is if you can't be self-disciplined and self-motivated.
Oh, this is not the place for you.
In your business, then you're not going to make it. This isn't a job where you have a boss who's got a quota and numbers that you've got to meet.
Unless you're married to Lizzy, in which case you better meet those numbers.
Goddamn quota. But you have to be the one that's, I mean, you've had to be self-motivated even with having a partner that,
Yeah, absolutely.
is not only your business partner and your life partner.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a matter of, I want to make a lot of money. I'm sorry if that sounds bad to some listeners, but I do. That's why I'm in business to do. I want to be successful. So that's why I show up every day and go to work. Yeah.
I mean, you guys wouldn't show up for your business. You wouldn't show up on this podcast if there wasn't some big motivating factor.
Yep.
I mean, I think you're motivated by more than just money, but it's really nice.
It's actually really funny. I don't look at the checks. I don't care.
Yeah, he has no clue what comes in and goes out.
No idea. For me,
great.
it's just winning. I just love closing. I feel like a winner when I do it. So that's
and
what I do.
Carried the stress burden of, do we have enough money this month? Do we have enough money this month? And he has no clue and doesn't care.
The answer is yes, we do.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So setting up your daily schedule. I was going over this with Lizzy this morning, and she looks at me and she goes, you kind of forgot something.
The main number one thing.
It is the most important thing, guys. Starting with family. All right. Even if you don't have family, maybe you have a dog or a cat, maybe 2 cats. All right.
I mean, you could put friends on here. Anybody that is influential or impactful or important. Oh, 3 hours in a row. Then make sure you make time for them.
Yes. Start with family. I was listening to another podcast just talking about real estate and really a similar topic. And they were talking about how this one guy hosting the podcast, he sits down with his family at the beginning of each year and they schedule out like 4 long weekends. They don't schedule what they're going to do. They come up to it, they get close to it, and they ask the kids, what do you want to do? And they're like, oh, we want to go camping. Okay, sweet. We put in camping, but that time is already blocked off, right?
Yeah.
That time is intentional.
I think we're finally at a place with our business where like we can do that. And I don't say that to discourage you guys, but I don't think I knew we could do that until more recently, where like you haven't been working as many weekends recently. I mean, you will if you have to.
Yeah. I mean, there are times when I feel
but
like I do.
I think you do try to keep the majority of work on the weekdays. And even if something falls on a weekend, like we do flex our schedule so that we have family time during the week. Like yesterday, Johnny was working in the dining room, oddly enough, because that's where he likes to work sometimes. Yeah. And it was 70 degrees here. And I was like, we're going on a family walk. And he stopped what he was doing and went on a family walk, and he finished what he needed to do when he got back. But like, that's the beauty of this life, is if you can be disciplined on certain days of the week at certain times, then you have that flexibility when the weather is magically 70 degrees in January.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into that going forward, but I'm super protective and disciplined about my mornings.
Yeah.
Like that is my time. You can't move it. It is a mountain. It does not get moved.
Yeah. Like the only things that come up in that time is something urgent family. If something urgent family, like I had an ultrasound in the morning this week, he went to that and then got back to work.
Yep.
Next week we have to take the dogs to the vet, and I cannot do that with my pregnant self. So like, I was like, we're going to, I was like, I can push it back as late in the morning as I possibly can, but this is the only time they have. So like, get your work done early.
Yeah. And which is another brilliant thing about this is you can, right? There's no reason for you to say, oh, I have to work until 12 o'clock or until 1 o'clock or until 2 o'clock. I mean, if you can get your ass working and get that work done, go reward yourself. Like we're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Yeah, I feel like we're like jumping around on all of our different.
Sorry. Yeah. Another thing, and this goes against what some people think. People are like, oh, make quality time with your family, and you should, but also make quantity time. I want to spend lots of time with my family because I feel like Liam is going to look back and he is going to remember those great big things, but he's also going to remember all the things in the middle. So yeah, I want to be there for that.
I think it is important for him at this age to get quantity. I mean, he realizes he always acts out on the days that we don't give him as much attention.
Children will be children.
Yeah. So I think it is about like quantity and quality. Both. Yeah. Like, don't just give him a ton of time if you're not going to be present. Like, make sure you're present while, like, I've started doing this thing, which we're not going to get on parenting because we are no parent experts.
What are you talking about? I have my own parenting YouTube channel. People, that's not true.
No, it's not true. Yeah. No one would listen to you.
Maybe they should.
Love you, but I'm the one who parents in this household most of the time. But we started doing this thing where I was like, hey, like one day, probably a month ago, I was like, maybe not even a month ago, I was like, hey, let's go have special mommy Lily time. I'm going to put my phone up here and we're going to have time together. So he knows like he is the priority. There's nothing else that has my distraction. And I let him lead the playtime. It's for like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, mommy's got to go back to what I'm doing. And like, he doesn't normally freak out when I'm done. Like it fills him up to have that time. And so now
he'll come and ask for it. It's
special
great.
Mommy Lily time. I'm like, yes, we can have special mommy Lily time. Like when he's feeling that depleted now, he will come and ask for it. And I know if he's asking for it, he needs it. So
and he obviously recognizes the difference between that special time and us just like hanging out.
Yeah.
He knows there's a difference.
He can tell the intentionality behind it. So, and I think with having another baby coming, that's going to be really important to keep that and make sure that we give it to him. And now he started asking for special daddy time. But even Johnny wasn't even doing it, but he'll be like, special daddy Lily time.
Heck yeah. Let's go play with some Legos, bro.
So yeah, that's our little bit on family that.
Yep. Sorry about that.
That needs to be, number one. If you don't have a family, sorry, boring information.
Hey, listen, all these people on their deathbeds, they're never like, I wish I worked more, right?
Yeah. I mean, you hear that all the time.
You can't buy that time back. You can't. All right. Make the most.
That was a loud clap.
That was aggressive.
Yeah.
Make the most of your mornings. This is like it in a nutshell. If you're going to stop listening, listen to this slide and you can go. Make the most of your mornings and start early. I think that the early hours are the most productive hours because you can get away with doing stuff and not bother anyone or get bogged down with anyone else, right? If you can get into the office and start touching your sphere of influence and writing your handwritten cards. And for me, I do my 10-10. That's 10, what do we say? 10 stories across, 10 comments on post down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that. And I can get that all done before 9 o'clock when I want to get on the phones. And that way, those tasks don't push me back later.
Well, and no one wants to get a call from you before 9 a.m.
Exactly.
Like, no offense.
Exactly.
I don't want to get a call after 6 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m. myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if you can use that time to answer emails, put out fires that happened over the night and follow up with client questions, then again, you're just freeing up that prospecting time that you need to hold sacred. Because that is what's going to build your business down the road.
Yeah, because there a lot of things can happen overnight that you do need to address first thing in the morning, and so I think it is important to block a little time before you get started on your calls. But know that, like, hey, if something starts getting out of hand, be like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to handle this after my time.
There's no such thing as a real estate emergency.
No, truly there isn't.
No,
we feel like there are. The only thing that can be a little stressful are deadlines. You know, like if you have something expiring tonight at midnight, you have to stay up and figure it out.
Absolutely. But if you knew what you were doing, and, you know, I don't always do this correctly, but you should have those deadlines like mapped out, and you should not leave anything until the 9th hour.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? The 11th hour?
11th hour.
11th.
Yeah.
Not, maybe the 9th hour is the right time to do it. I don't know.
Yeah. Do it at the 9th hour, not the 11th hour.
So yeah, dedicated phone time, guys. For me, it really starts at 10 o'clock, right? So I try to be in the office before 9 o'clock so I can knock out those other things, the emails, the sphere of influence, the 10-10, the handwritten cards. So by 10 o'clock, all of it's out of the way and I can start calling, because I really don't want to call anyone at 9:20 either. I still feel like that's kind of rude.
Yeah, it does, especially, like, no offense to old people. Like, a lot of old people, they're not up and doing things that early. They don't want to talk to you. Or someone who does have a job is trying to get to work. I know these sound all like excuses, and people may still answer their phone, but you do want to set yourself up for the most
success. Yeah. Put yourself in the right position to get a yes, right?
Yeah, and for someone to answer the phone. So if calling at 9 o'clock is not getting you that, or you're just getting super negative people at 9 a.m., don't call at 9 a.m.
Bingo. Learn from that mistake. So calling. I am about to shift real hard in my calling. All right. Up until now, I've been all in on for sale by owners. And I still think for sale by owners are a great way to get leads. But now, I mean, it's just going to be raining manna from the heavens as far as expireds. Okay.
Yes and no. I don't know. I feel like we're just in this like unknown right now because spring market's coming. Mm-hmm. Applications, I keep seeing this stat be thrown around on social media. Applications are up 28% in the past week.
Right.
So that means there's going to be more buyers out there, but that also could mean there's going to be more sellers. So it may just be a really, really hot market. So for both, like, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good spring market for both personally. But so, I mean, there may or may not, but expireds, you definitely want to chase an expired over a FSBO, I would think.
Yeah, I think so too, because these people, they've already said, yeah, I'm going to use a realtor. They've already said, yeah, I'll pay the commissions. They have already agreed to all of these common objections. All you have to do is be the person that can solve the problems that they had the first time. And I think that not just current expireds, right? Go back over the last year. The last year, there were a bunch of expireds. Guys say, listen, did you know mortgage applications are up? Buyers are coming back out. Now is the time. We're at the spring market. Let's get your house back on the market.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. And so come up with a consistent number of how many contacts you want to make. I feel like that's super important. You can say, I want to get 5 contacts in the morning. I want to get 10 contacts in the morning. Whatever it's going to be, whatever that number is, stick with it. And know that when you do that, you're done. You've done it.
Yeah.
I think that when I first got on this and I was pushing myself, just pushing, I bogged myself down a lot. And I thought, okay, I have to be on the phone for this like 4-hour stint.
Hours,
exactly. Yeah. And that's not true at all. That is so not true.
If you hit the number of contacts, then you're done.
Absolutely.
Or if you set an appointment, you're done.
I think so. Yeah, I think that if you set an appointment, if you set that's your second dial, go play some golf. Congratulations. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Nope. That's where I am. Next one is schedule lunches. Put this on your calendar. Schedule lunches with people in your sphere of influence and your past clients. Do this in public places and do this often. Why? Why do we do this? Sounds like a waste of money.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest reason is that you're just getting your face out in the community, that you are showing up, especially in a place where we live. Like everybody goes and gets lunch on the Gainesville Square if you're a business person.
Yep.
And if you can set up a lot of meetings there, people are going to be like, oh, you're out. And you get your face out. And not only that, but the person you're having lunch with, hopefully they're a sphere of influence, past client, someone like that it's a touch, and it's a very impactful touch because you're able to just sit there and ask them questions the whole time and talk to them.
It's very intentional time, again, like we did with family, that you're putting into someone who gave you business or is giving you business.
Yeah.
So continue to just pour into that person. Like you said, you're getting out in the community. People are going to recognize your face, even if they don't recognize you the first time. If they see you out 3 times, they're going to ask who you are.
Okay, so here's a good example of that. So I keep wanting to call this place Big Ass Burrito, but it's definitely not called Big Ass Burrito.
That's what I call it because there's a donkey.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's totally what it is. I don't care what it says legally.
It's called Big Burritos. And Johnny goes there a lot and has lunches with people there. It is a place where a lot of guys go. It's not in the city town or the city center, but it's kind of off the beaten path, but people go there a lot. People love it. And so we always see people we know when we go there. And so we had our team meeting this past week there, and so we go through the line, and me and the girl at the register, we were like, it was weird. We were just like in sync. I don't know. Like she's got 2 boys. They both are born on the same day. Like just a weird coincidence thing. So we're just standing there chatting for a while. And I was like, yeah, I don't get out as much as he does. And she's like, oh yeah, I've seen him here a ton.
Ratting me out.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. That's where all my money's going.
Whatever, Amazon. Anyway, get out in the community. It helps so much. And I tell our agents that just go get in the community.
Yeah. Well, and part of the scheduled lunches could be like luncheons. So like I get invited to God knows how many luncheons of like, and it could be a learning thing, but it could be a networking thing. Like I'm in this women's group called Women's Source. I don't go as much as I should, but
that's something we've commissioned our agents to do. Yeah,
we were like, everybody needs to find a group and go to it.
Go join something, whether it be a nonprofit, whether it be one of these business networking groups, anything.
If you can, this is just like a side little like you got an extra learning moment. Jessica on our team, she started going to this like planning commission kind of a thing for our town. Could you imagine if you were the realtor that had basically all the intel?
Yeah, you have the inside knowledge.
You knew exactly what building was what, when it was going in. Because clients will ask you that, especially if they're buying a house in off a certain main road, like, oh, what's going to be going in here? If you know, like, you look...
Well, yeah, that on top of, it's just going to bring more people into your sphere of influence. People are going to say, oh, talk to this person. They know what's going on in the community. So yeah, if you can get in with your Chamber of Commerce, if you have not done that, just stop what you're doing now and go do that right now. I mean, that alone is important, but then become active in it. And
yeah, I think that's the hardest part. I mean, I just was saying last week, I'm like, every time I want to go to one of these events that have some kind of a like scheduling conflict, that's like a doctor's appointment or something that is more important.
Yeah, and I have not made it a priority like I should.
Yeah.
Like they have those like cocktails after hours. I could do that. A lot of times I feel bad. I'm like, well, I don't want to leave you alone here with Liam.
I know. I mean, that is the hard thing. And you just have to find what works in your phase of life. Like right now, our evenings are pretty important for our family. Like, we like to have dinner together. We like to sit down. I need that help. So if I can make dinner, then Johnny can have some time with Liam. And
imagine me going out for drinks and leaving you to cook dinner with Liam.
I mean, I'm okay with it from time to time. Like, if you need to go do it, it doesn't bother me. Like, as long as it's not every week.
Sure. Well, yeah. Go do that. Just go do it. All right. Next one, guys. Build in breaks activities, something to motivate you and keep you going. Our little closet of an office is inside our gym. Like, you walk through the gym, you walk past the treadmills, past the bench press, and then you're at our office. So what I'll do is between calls, like, I'll hang up the phone, I'll go out, I'll do 10 reps or something, I'll do some dips, some pull-ups, I'll come right back in and hit the phone. All right?
I'm sure people just look at you like, what is this guy doing in a business shirt?
That's right. Ask questions about me, because eventually you're going to ask me personally, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm your real estate agent. That's what's going on here. So yeah, for me, it keeps me from getting bogged down. Like, I don't just feel like I'm drudging through all these people saying no and hanging up on me and that, this, that, and the other. It just keeps me going.
So I'm a little bit different for me because I'm pretty sure I have ADHD.
Definitely.
That does not work for me. Just so you guys know, like, this is what works for Johnny, and this is something that may not work for you because I'm different. When I was on the phones all the time, I had to I locked myself in a closet at the office that I was at. We just love closets, apparently. But it truly was by myself, and I would just power through and make all my calls and just do them back to back to back, because if I got my focus distracted from it, it was so hard getting me back onto it. So try out different ways. Be like, okay,
sure.
If this is not, like, if you need that break to, like, refresh your mind between calls, do it. If that helps you, do it. But if you're like me and you need to just stay on track and finish and just push through, then reward yourself at the end. Like, there is, you do need to have self-care and you need to reward yourself, but just do it how it really works for you. This is all about figuring out what works the best for you and following a system with it.
I think that's something that people don't necessarily grasp a lot of times. Like, when coaches or different trainings will tell you exactly what to do at exactly what times. Like, these agendas are not going to work for everybody.
Yeah, Rosie was texting me we Zoomed yesterday, and she was saying how she got a new planner. And she was like, this isn't working for me. I've got to go back to the one that works for me. And I just took note of that. I'm like, that's so great that she's realizing, hey, this new planner that I bought is not working.
Yeah.
Let me go back to what worked even better.
I wonder what kind of psychology goes into that. Like, you buy a planner and it is all done out. And you're like, does that work for you? Is that your system? Why can't you? I bought one and I wasn't able to look inside it before I got it. And I was like, I'm making it work. I really like it, but I wish I had known what was inside. I had no idea. I was going in blind.
I just despise planners. They don't work for me.
We're going to get you on some ADHD medicine as soon as this baby comes out.
One of these days, maybe.
All right, guys. Last thing, discipline.
We already talked about it in the beginning.
But we're going to bring it up again.
Go back to it.
Because it's the most important thing here. And you talk to any successful person, and they're going to say, they're going to agree with this. Whatever you do, just do it consistently and do it with discipline. Even if it's not working, even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you just got to keep doing it. Because if you don't, you'll never get there. You'll never be successful.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Thanks, babe. That was super helpful.
No, I mean, I agree. I think it is, if you give up too fast with something, I think we all have a tendency to do that. If you give up way too soon, then you're going to miss out. It goes back to the fortune is in the follow-up. If you give up too soon, you're going to miss out on actually reaping that reward that if you've put in 4 calls, you want to get the results out of that at some point. So you've got to keep going. Just keep going until you actually get what you want in the results. Because if you're following a system that is tested and tried and true, that it's going to work, follow it until it works.
And believe me, putting in calls to FSBOs and expireds works. It works.
You just have to stay with it and be dedicated.
And if you're not ready to go in with 10 contacts a day, good for you. That's fine. Do 5. There's no way you can't hit 5 contacts.
Except look at what your slide says.
Well, I mean, the amount of calls you put in is going to be the amount of change you get, right?
If you want huge change, make 10 contacts per morning. If you want small change, make 5 contacts per morning.
I mean,
but
it's
small change
true,
is
right?
change. Like, that's the thing. I think
is.
there's like this, I don't know, this principle of like 1 degree.
1 degree, yep.
Yeah. So like 1 degree of change is better than negative degrees or 0 degrees.
Well, and the 1 degree of change may seem small.
Put you on a completely different path.
Yeah, exactly. Follow that trajectory and you're going to be
I'm no pilot, but I'm pretty sure that they use the analogy that if you change the course by 1 degree, you're going to end up in a whole different continent.
I don't know why that was so funny. I'm no pilot. That's the truth.
As if you guys all assumed I was.
Okay. I was like, what on earth was this note? Yeah, but that's just the morning hours, guys. We've just been talking about the morning, right? What about the afternoon? I keep my afternoons wide open.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I want to schedule my lunch. And after that, I'm going to go play around at Topgolf, right? But I also have my listing appointments now that I've set. I also have my showings that I need to go on, right? I have other paperwork and whatnot, things that have to be attended to. So when you're scheduling your closings and your showings, do it after 1 o'clock. Do yourself a favor. Be preemptive with that.
I would say you've gotten really good at this because that was a big problem before. You were just like, hey, when can you go? That was what he would always say. And now he said, hey, I can do this time tomorrow or this time the next day. And it's always an afternoon time. So whichever day they can do better in the afternoon. Like every once in a while, you'll have to do a showing in the morning where like the seller can't accommodate anything or they truly can't do any other time. Like make that the exception, not the rule.
Absolutely. I think it took me a long time in my business to realize that I'm in control of my calendar, but being in control of your calendar is the most important thing you can do for your business.
Yeah. I mean, I think that goes back to like, I feel like in the last year or so, we finally have learned that like, no, we do control what we want to do. Like we are in control. And like next Saturday, I think it's next Saturday, I have a baby shower, and I also have a listing, and I have another agent on our team doing that open house for me. Like,
nice.
I mean, obviously I can't miss my baby shower, but like
that'd be awkward.
That'd be a little awkward. But like there are things that come up that aren't even necessarily that as important. Leverage things out if there's something that's more important that you need to attend to, or like this can happen every time you plan a vacation. Be prepared that your real estate business is going to go through the roof. You're going to get 100 calls the day before you leave that everyone wants to buy and sell today. Make sure that you have someone who is set up to help handle all of that. And if you're in the very beginning of your career, guys, like if you're at a brokerage, there's mentors, there's people around that, like, believe me, they'd be happy to take a 25% referral on something that they help you with. And you just have to be okay with that and learn that, like, hey, vacation is a very important thing for us. Like, we need to take this vacation.
For sure.
It's a self-care thing, and be okay with losing a little bit of money if you are going to be gone.
Well, so back to this podcast I was talking about at the beginning, that was one of the points they made, was if you work with Sphere and referrals, they have a personal connection with you, and you can come out and say, listen, I'm going on vacation, and they're going to be cool with that. Like, they're invested in you as a person and your family. So they're like, cool, talk to me when you get back.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there has been some like misinformation given by the business world or real estate industry. I don't know what it is.
No, it's our own fault.
Yeah, that just is like you have to jump whenever your clients say jump. And that's not the truth whatsoever.
No, you are not on 24/7. If you have that in your head, fix it and stop telling people that.
Well, and I think in the beginning, I used to always hear like, oh, treat yourself like a doctor's office. Like doctors don't just, come in on the weekends for you because your schedule is busy during the week. Like,
that's the damn truth.
Which, to be fair, we do work weekends. Like, that is part of real estate because that's when a lot of people can go out and see stuff. It is part of the career that you chose. If you didn't want that, you should have chosen to be a doctor. But at the same time, like, you can give yourself hours. You can say, I am available from this time.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I have another appointment, even if that appointment is your family at another time.
Yeah, that's great. I've used that before. You don't have to tell people what your appointment is.
You know who I think you know this, but do you know who taught me that?
No.
Grandma. My grandmother was a real estate agent back in the 80s and 90s.
Back in the Stone Age.
No, I mean, it was when she it was like her second career. And it was when my aunt was, in middle school and high school, and she was in a lot of activities. And every time she had to do something with my aunt, her daughter, she would just say she has another appointment. I'm sorry, I can do it at this time or that time. I'm like, she learned that back in the 80s and 90s. Like, how can we not? We've got to just.
It's important. It's so important. Yeah. Don't do that. I think that's my biggest fear, is looking back and saying I missed out on things because I worked too hard.
Well, I force you to do things. That's the problem, or the good thing for you.
Yeah, thank God for you, right?
I have to be the one to be like, hey, let's do this family thing.
You're in charge around here. I just work here. Everyone knows that.
Did y'all, I don't know why I'm asking, did you guys, you're going to respond to me right now, but go see my reel that I put up. It was really funny. It was a little joke. It was a comedian who did a little bit on
work for your wife.
On I am my wife's employee.
That's right. I'm my wife's employee.
And she's head of HR, which is bullshit. That was my favorite line.
Ladies, I was going to say I'm naked, but I'm not. I'm shirtless in this.
What?
In this reel.
Oh, in the reel. I'm like, you're not shirtless right now.
But also don't get excited, because there's not, just saying, don't get excited.
The dad bods there a little bit.
I'm a dad.
You're a dad.
So, yeah, got to recognize.
I saw this on social media, and it was like, why is the dad bod accepted, but the mom bod is not?
Don't even go there. This is, no.
No, it's a thing. Why do dads get a free pass to get all pudgy and we have to not?
I don't think they should. I think that's actually an error in...
Not saying you're pudgy, but...
Well, I'm not, for one. Two, that's a your gender thing you got to work out, right? Because...
No, it's a dude gender thing that has put that on us. Don't even.
No, my understanding is that girls like this dad bod.
I mean, some girls maybe.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the problem. It's not us, all right?
Okay, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Because I'd rather have the cut bod, right?
Yeah.
I need the Zac Efron bod.
When are you going to get that?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
In between your costs.
Exactly. Yes. My 10 reps.
No, I think everybody should just be happy with the way they look and don't care about what other people think. Because I don't care.
That's a fact.
I know. I put up on Instagram again. Just follow me on Instagram at Lizzy Grace Phillips. Not a shameless plug, but I put up a story yesterday because guys, if I don't have to see clients in a day, you are not going to catch me getting ready, putting makeup on, doing my hair. It's just not happening because there are other things that are more important right now. And I was like, I just appreciate you guys for showing up and looking at my face like this. Probably going to be like this for at least the next year. Hopefully after that, I'll get my shit together.
Maybe. Time will tell.
When we're done having babies. Oh, I'm so ready to be done.
Can I get them tied? Can I get snipped, please?
You don't tie nothing.
No, I get snipped twice. As many times as possible.
Can you just double snip me?
For real. Nope. We're having no mistakes around here.
No, if we had another baby, it wouldn't be a mistake. It would just be a very big ass surprise.
No,
I don't know what I would do.
Mistake.
I truly do. I don't think I will ever be able to be pregnant again. There's no way.
All you do is complain about it.
It's miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. I hate saying things like that because I am very thankful that I was able to get pregnant again and, we're having another baby, but dang, it's not easy. I think it's okay to still complain. If you had a hard time getting pregnant and you got pregnant, don't feel guilty if you still complain. Because it is a bitch. Pregnancy is a bitch. And if you're one of those people that loves being pregnant, I'm sorry, we can't be friends.
I don't know how you would do that. That's not for me. All right, let's let these people go.
No, we got to do a question every time. I have to remind you.
Okay. Well,
of our question that we never think of in advance.
No.
And we just annoy you people with it.
Okay. My question for you is, when do we get to go back to the beach? I want to go to the beach.
That's so weird. Liam this morning, or maybe, I think it was this morning when he was watching some knockoff Cocomelon. He was like, go
Foco
beach,
melon?
Go beach, go beach.
Do you like that?
What?
Cocomelon?
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Thanks. Oh, yeah. Let's go to the beach. What the hell?
Not now. It's too cold.
Not if we go to Key West.
And I can't travel now. I'm past the
Who said you have
traveling. To come? Fuck you. No, I think maybe we'll make a beach trip this summer. We did it with Liam when he was 3 months old.
Where did we put him?
In the car.
No, I mean once we were at the beach.
In a pack and play.
At the beach?
Yeah.
On the sand?
Oh, I was just thinking sleeping. No, I just held him, and yeah, he was like 3 months old.
Cool. All right. Cool.
But now we have 2 of them. So
well, Liam is old enough to take care of the younger one, so it's perfect.
That is not true. He can't even wipe his own ass.
I wipe my own ass. I wipe my own ass.
I don't know about that.
Everyone else listening knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in again to the Modern Real Estate Agents.
With John and Lizzy Phillips.
Where we just talk about random shit.
At all times, every times. All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.